Hey everybody, what's going on? I know it's been a while since I've done a movie review. For those of you who saw my last video, there was a death in my family. My grandpa did pass away. It's very hard to do, but things are finally getting better, and you know, I'm coming to terms with the death and everything. So I thought in memory of him, I would do a special movie review of one of the movies that we both love to watch. We both enjoyed watching it together, and whenever it was on, we would watch it. And that movie is The Thing from the Other World. This is classic, old school science fiction horror movie. I mean, it's the stuff that, I don't know how to explain it, but it's the stuff where magic comes from. All these new movies that are coming out about aliens or monsters or anything like that really has to give credit to the old school classic monster movies. Not just the horror genre, but the science fiction genre as well. Now, the strange thing is that I remember watching this movie as a kid, but I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I do remember the second time I saw it. It was a Saturday morning, and on TBS, I don't know if you people know what TBS is. It's a channel that we get over here in Southern California. TBS used to have this monster show Saturday mornings, and it was, I think it was like maybe around 11 or maybe 12. Could have been afternoon. But anyways, the grandpa from the Munsters, the vampire guy, I don't know what his name was, he actually used to host the show. He used to come out dressed up like a vampire, and he would host the show. And it was usually had to do with monsters. Godzilla was always on there. King Kong was always on there. Movies like Reptilicus. What was that movie? Crater Lake Monster was always on there. So they would always show like big monster movies. But once in a while they would show a science fiction. And very rarely they would show a horror movie. So I remember one day my grandpa told me, he's like, hey, this movie's going to come on. Let's watch it. And I said, yeah, I remember that. The Thing. I remember, you know, watching it before, and I loved it. So we sat down and we watched it. Now, what I like about this movie is that it has that classic feel to it. It's black and white. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of suspense. And there's a lot of mystery to what the monster looks like. I personally love the old black and white version where, you know, it was dark and eerie. But there is a version that's actually, they colored it, you know, and it was weird. During the 90s, there was a phase where all these movies were colored. King Kong was colored. I remember there were Shirley Temple movies that were colored, and The Thing was colored, where The Thing was actually green. That kind of took away from the mystery, because instead of seeing a dark shadow walking down a corridor, you just saw this green monster walking down. I can see what they were trying to get at, because it's like a lot of people aren't used to black and white movies, and you know, they want to bring vibrant colors to these films. It didn't work for me. I didn't like them. But anyways, sorry about that. Getting over a cold too, by the way. But anyways, one thing that I noticed about this movie, watching it, and I've kind of read up on it, is they do this really cool thing that a lot of movies don't do, and is that they make you relaxed in the film. And what they do is that there's always doors opening, but whenever the doors open, there's always just another person on the other side, or it's an empty room. Now, if you're not paying attention, you don't notice it. I mean, because the doors don't open one right after another. But there is a lot of doors opening. They're going from one place to another, opening doors. Finally, when you see the monster, it scares the hell out of you, because you think your mind and your eyes and your body is already used to like nothing being on the other side when that door opens. Sure enough, as soon as the door opens, you see the monster there, you see the alien, you jump. So, what's this movie about? Real quick, in a nutshell, there's a bunch of people in Antarctica, and they're doing God knows what out there. They're scientists, and they're doing all this stuff, and then they discover a crashed UFO in the ice. As they're bringing out the UFO, they discover that there's a body in there. So they bring the body out, and of course, you know, let's watch it, let's be careful, let's get the rest of the military over, and let's take care of this. What ends up happening is that some guy ends up falling asleep. but he doesn't want to look at the thing in the ice, so he covers it with a blanket. Of course, it's an electric blanket, so it heats up the ice, melts it down, brings the alien back to life. Now the alien's running loose, it's killing everybody, and they have to stop it. In this one, they try to say that it's more of a plant life monster, where it might have evolved from plants, and it starts making other little plant monsters, so they're trying to like stop it. And they're trying to figure out how to kill it as well. Because I believe they cut the arm off and the arm grows back. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. So they realize it's a plant, it can regenerate itself. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, there's nothing more to it. And it's just a bunch of group of course, you know, old school military guys, you know. I hate to say this, I'm not racist or anything, but they're all white, you know, and it's an old school movie, and you gotta understand, like, that's the era it's from. So it's a bunch of white military dudes trying to kill a monster. You have your scientists that want to study it, you have your people that want to kill it, and you have your other people that want to, you know, maybe we can learn from it, or even more, maybe we can learn its technology and use it as a weapon. And it's a very good movie. There was a remake called John Carpenter's The Thing, and I love that one a lot more. I love this movie for the nostalgic memories that I have with it, and because it's probably one of the movies that my grandpa always talked about and said it was the scariest movie he ever saw. In fact, he told me that after he saw this movie at the age of 17, he didn't have a car yet. His friends went walking one way from the theater. He went walking alone the other way. And as soon as he got further, like far enough so his friends couldn't see him, he ran all the way home. That's how scary this movie was back in the day. It's not that scary. But the remake, I believe the remake is still scary to this day. It plays on paranoia, it plays on atmosphere, it plays on people's fears. And it's a really, really good remake. Might be one of the best remakes that I ever seen. And one day I'll talk about it. But for right now, for anybody who is a monster fan, an alien fan, sci-fi fan, anybody who loves those old school, classic, black and white, 50s science fiction movies, 50s science fiction horror movies, this is definitely the movie to pick up. I know a lot of people know about this movie, and a lot of people know about John Carpenter's The Thing, and then there was the prequel that came out, I believe, in 2010, The Thing. I personally didn't like it. There was too much CGI for me, but you got to pick this up. This is a great movie. Everybody should at least watch it once. I mean, I'm going to do it in memory of my grandfather. I'm going to watch it again, and it's fun. Anyways, thank you so much for being patient. I'm really excited that, you know, I'm doing this again. Like, I like talking about movies, and I really like talking about movies that I've watched. And I like sharing it with you guys, whether you like the movies or don't like the movies, or whether you're going to see the movies or don't watch the movies. At least I can give you a little insight of what these movies are. I have been getting a lot of movies lately. Recently, Christmas passed, my birthday passed, and I have a lot of movies that I haven't even seen yet. I want to sit down and watch them. And what sucks is that I'll go to like Best Buy and there will be like a Blu-ray, $5.99. I don't have that movie on DVD. Might as well have it on Blu-ray, and I pick it up right off the shelf. So bear with me. There's a lot more movies, a lot more reviews coming up. Blu-ray, DVD. Hey, there's even some VHS in there too. But thank you guys for being patient. Thanks to all my fans. Like I said, I feel real great, and I feel good about doing this again. And I just want to thank you guys for, like I said, being patient with me. So, I'm Robert Ochoa, and I will talk to you later, and I will talk to you about more movies.